Hi, it's Jim from starryhope.com. Today I'd like to talk with you about Linux apps on your Chromebook. Now, this isn't available on every Chromebook yet, but a few months back, Google released the ability to run native Linux apps on your Chromebook just to the Google Pixelbook. And slowly they've been adding it to other devices like the Acer Chromebook Tab 10, the HP detachable, I forget what it's called, and a few other Chromebooks. You have to be in developer mode for this to work right now. So it's July 21st, 2018. And you have to be in developer mode and you have to have a supported device. So until a couple days ago, I didn't have a supported device. But on Amazon Prime Day, they had an awesome deal on the Google Pixelbook. So I picked one up. And I'd like to show you just some different things that you can do right now with Linux on your Chromebook, at least on the Pixelbook. So first of all, you have to be in developer channel. And you can see the version of Chrome OS that I have here is 69.0.34.94. And I already checked for updates today. There's no more updates. And when you're in developer mode on the Pixelbook, you'll see all of a sudden Linux Beta down here. To get that running, you have to click the Turn On button, and this is going to download and install a virtual machine, and then also a container, a Debian container, on top of the virtual machine. And that's where you're going to install all your Linux apps. So basically it's made mostly for developers right now, and people who are familiar with Linux, maybe web developers who want to install a web server on their Chromebook so that they can test their apps, or maybe some kind of other programmers that need a Linux system for their production environment. But it turns out that you can run pretty much any Linux app that will run on Debian on your Chromebook now. So that could be things from the Debian repository or things that you've downloaded. I've tried out quite a few things and even got some kind of interesting things working with Wine and some Windows apps. But today I'd just like to show you how to get this started so you can play around with it, kind of see the future and the direction that this is going, because it's looking like it's going to be pretty cool, even for end users, probably in about a year or so. So let's let this run and see how long it takes to install, and I'll be back. Okay, so that installed. I took a little break, came back, and everything is all installed and ready to go. And what we have here is an app called the Terminal, which might be something familiar to anybody who's used Linux or Mac OS or anything like that. But what we're working with in this terminal is a very small Debian container where pretty much nothing's installed, even like Nano is not installed. Very few things are installed because we don't have all the desktop libraries that you might have with Ubuntu or something like that. And you can install pretty much anything you want to. Let's get apt-get install. So if you don't know about that, that's Debian's package manager. If you've used Ubuntu or Debian in the past, you'll be familiar with that. So we're going to install, I want to show you Inkscape. Inkscape. How's it spelled? Inkscape. There we go. I want to show you Inkscape just because I want to show you how many packages you have to install to use a GUI app on the system. So this is going to download a whole lot of packages and install Inkscape and a lot of font management, printer management, a lot of ImageMagick, GNOME libraries, Python stuff, all kinds of interesting stuff in order to make ImageMagick work. And that's going to take quite a while, so let's speed through that and see how long it takes. And you'll see right away that we got an error. And the reason that is because we really need to update our repositories. So we're going to do sudo apt-get update. Run that real quick. And let's try to run this again. There we go. Let's see how long this takes. Okay, that took about 4 or 5 minutes to install. It only took that long to install because it's really the first app that we've installed and had to install all the desktop services and whatnot that we'll need. But the great thing is, if you click down here, you'll see right here is Inkscape. And it starts up and runs pretty fast, honestly. And everything seems to work. The only little bit of a problem that I've seen playing around with this is that we have on the Pixelbook there's a really high resolution screen, and so a lot of the Linux apps don't really do a great job with scaling some of their icons and text and stuff on a high resolution screen. But everything works. You can draw shapes. You can do everything that you would normally do in Inkscape. Do some image editing, some logo design, or whatever it is you're going to do. And then let me show you how this works. Click Save As, save it, and then you'll see over, if we go into our Files app, we have My Files now, and your Downloads folder is now underneath My Files, and then you'll have Linux files. And I believe they're actually going to add Android files in there. So right here is our drawing, and you can see it, and open it up in Chrome. So right now, if you download something from the internet, you're going to need to drag it from your downloads folder into the Linux files in order to work with that. But that doesn't seem like a really big deal to me. Like, the Linux container itself is very separated from the rest of the system, which is actually a good thing when you're installing stuff. And you want to keep things separate. And so, oops, I guess we can't apt-get GIMP. We've got to apt-get install GIMP. I want to just show you installing the GIMP program just so you can see that once you've installed one application, it doesn't take nearly as long to install other desktop applications. I did notice trying to install one program that is tied to the KDE desktop that it also downloaded an insane amount of dependencies. So whenever you're installing something that has a lot of dependencies, it takes a while. But since a lot of these applications depend on the same libraries and the same system files, the more applications you install, the less space each one takes up. Each new download, at least, it takes up, and the faster it installs. So let's see how long this one takes. Okay, that's done. I went and got myself some coffee while that installed. I think it only took a couple minutes to actually install, but I took a little break there. So I'd like to show you how this works, like what the workflow might look like. So I downloaded a file, for example, from the internet, just some random sunset photo. Let's say that we wanted to edit that. I don't believe you can open it. You can. They've actually added this. You can open it with GIMP now, right from within the file manager, which is actually really cool. So I think that they are really going at this from a consumer point of view. If it was just for developers, they would have never bothered to add this open with your Linux apps in there. So this is clearly made to be something that you're going to use as a consumer. And let's just say we wanted to crop this a little bit and then save it. That's just really cool. This is just telling me that for sure, they are wanting this to be used by consumers, which I think is really awesome. So one last thing I want to show you is just for fun. You can install Firefox on your Chromebook. So you can have alternate browsers now. You can download the Brave browser, the Opera browser, whatever will run on Debian and run it. This is Debian's version of Firefox that I'm installing here. And it's just kind of cool. Like if you need some of the features from Firefox, or you need to use to debug your website, for example, in different browsers, you can do that all on your Chromebook now. And so that was pretty fast. And right here, we're going to be running Firefox on our Chromebook. So this is the Linux version of Firefox on our Chromebook. Now, it's been possible through the App Store to install Firefox, the Android Firefox on your Chromebook, but that's just really made for a phone and not so much a great desktop experience. But this is the full version of Firefox, and you can see there's still some issues with shadowing and stuff like that I'm sure they'll get fixed. But as of right now, this works. This is probably the most complicated page on my website, where you can choose different Chromebooks and stuff, and it works just fine in this version of Firefox on Chrome OS. So that's what I wanted to show you today. If you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you thought it was just horrible, click the thumbs down. And what I really would like to hear from you guys is, what do you want me to try to install, and what do you want me to try to do on this Pixelbook? What apps do you want me to try out? Leave a comment. Tell me what you want me to try out, and if it's possible to do, I will give it a try and record that and upload it for you guys. So that's all for now. Have a great day. This is Jim from starryhope.com, and thanks for watching.